In my previous video, we discussed whether the Speaker Titan is worth it, even though it costs Robux, right? However, you can also get a deluxe skin crate for free by completing weekly quests, but only if you're lucky enough to find a deluxe crate as a reward. Since it's a random reward, sometimes you don't see the deluxe crate as an option. However, these April Fool's skins are limited and will be removed from the shop by April 7th or 8th. Once they are removed, you will no longer be able to obtain them. We all know some of these skins are actually good, but due to the paywall, it's quite difficult to obtain them unless you spend Robux. There have been a few messages about these skins, hoping they would not be limited. Not only are they for April Fools only, but as I said, some of the skins are behind a paywall. Based on the developer's response, I don't think they are aware that these skins are limited. Here, we can actually see that Nova is not aware that it is limited. Imagine, they worked so hard on the animation and the entire skin, just for it to become a limited skin, and people want it so badly. But since some of the skins are in Deluxe, you need to wait a few weeks until you can get the Deluxe Crate reward for doing quests, so you don't need to spend any Robux on it. But for those who have some extra money, they don't need to wait and can just spend Robux without hesitation to obtain the skins. As you can tell, Nova is confused about the skins being limited, and it was very surprising because we thought that developers were aware of this. So since there was a rush during the April Fool's event, the developers didn't have enough time to make the skins earnable. They did plan to make these skins earnable, but since they didn't have sufficient time, they ended up in a deluxe crate instead. If they decide to remove these skins after April 7th, these skins will be the very first limited skins in TDS. 250 Robux is quite expensive, and not everyone can afford it. Also, note that the 250 Robux is not guaranteed, unless you have all the previous deluxe skins before they were released. It's understandable that the developers didn't have enough time to make them because of the previous event by ROBLOX, which was their priority at that time. We are still lucky enough to have an April Fool's update, to be honest. This was also my first thought about earning the other skins, like you need to win multiple times, and there's a small chance to get the skins, just like in TDX, if you're familiar with that game. During the Christmas event, whenever you achieved a triumph, there was a chance you could get a skin for it. I was thinking the same thing would happen here in the April Fool's update, but unfortunately, it didn't. Also, these developers don't really have any idea why it is limited, so we can't just tell them to make it permanent. They need to talk to Below Natural first, since Below Natural has full control of the game. I would consider the skins being limited if it only cost you coins, but the fact that some skins cost Robux makes it quite unfair for those who really want the skins. It's sad to see that you can't get the skin unless you pay for it, and it's very risky too. So, until now, we still don't have any updates on whether the skins will stay or not. Unfortunately, this will be Below Natural's decision, and we'll see what happens once the April Fool's update ends. If you ask me, the skins should be permanent, honestly. I know some of you really want the Speaker Titan Accelerator, and since it's an accelerator skin, most players are using that tower, or accelerator, as it's one of the best towers in the game. Even the developers don't have any clue about it being limited. Of course, as players, we have no idea either if they will stay or not. We're just hoping that Below Natural decides to make them permanent, so that more players will buy and earn those skins. What are your thoughts about this? Let us know in the comments, and thank you for watching.